Ben, I want to ask something about you. Something you said about the Occupy Wall Street people. You said that they were bums who sit in their tents smoking doobies.
Well, some. I think I said that some of them are. What I said was, I worked for a large part of my life trying to fight fraud on Wall Street. I wrote a lot of articles for Barron's. I was an expert witness in a lot of cases. Gave a lot of lectures about it. Yeah. It's hard work fighting fraud. You do not fight corporate fraud by banging on a drum and leaving your feces in a public park. I sympathize.
You've been reading the New York Post because it seems, though, some of these right-wing periodicals are really pushing this idea, it seems to me, that they're really out of control and they're just a bunch of losers. I don't think that's true.
Well, I haven't seen them come up with any specific proposals. All I hear that they're doing is banging drums and marching around in circles.
But, Roland, isn't that how every great movement begins, with banging drums?
That's not how the Declaration of Independence began.
Joy, Joy, it is so hilarious to listen to guys like Ben go, oh, they're just walking around banging drums. Let me tell you something. The civil rights movement was kickstarted in Montgomery, Alabama. And you know what? It was designed to be a one-day boycott. Not 381 days, one day. And all of a sudden, it went from 1955 all the way through the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, Fair Housing Act. Here's the deal. You are seeing the anger and the frustration rise.
It isn't true at all. There's no comparison.
Ben, 1 second.
There is no comparison at all.
Ben, 1 second. You see the anger and the frustration rise. Here's what's interesting. Bank of America backed off those bank fees. Bankers are being quoted as saying, yeah, they're having an impact. You take anger, then you see public policy come afterwards, then you have trouble on your hands. So keep dismissing them, Ben. I applaud you. But you are not going to like it when they have a plan and it's coming after folks like you.
Well, why would it come after folks like me more than after folks like you? Why would it come after me more than folks like you?
Because here's why, Ben. Because you are blowing it off. You're dismissing it when what is clear is that people are angry with Wall Street, with bankers,
look, my friend, look, Roland, I was working fighting fraud on Wall Street before you even knew what it was. Long time ago, so don't give me that crap. I've been fighting it for a long time. I've been working on it for a long time. You don't get anywhere banging a drum and leaving your feces on the ground. And the civil rights movement had a clear set of goals. That brave woman who wouldn't give up her seat on the bus, she had a clear plan. She didn't want to be moved to the back of the bus. So did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Ben, let me remind you, Joy, when I look at a lot of the comments of Occupy Wall Street, they say, oh, these people are communists, they hate America. Yeah. These were the exact same comments that people say during the civil rights movement.
Right. Yeah,
here's all I'm saying.
Not even remotely comparable. The people in the civil rights movement had goals.
Allow me to finish. What I'm saying is that when you take anger and frustration, and then people begin to get active, people begin to get involved, what happens is the net result then is public policy. Marching is tied to public policy. Dr. King was planning a poor people's campaign in 1968. Guess what, Joy? The plan was to occupy the National Mall with poor people in actual huts and shanties to show America the plight of the poor. That was actually being planned.
Well, Roland, I actually was there. Roland, I actually was there at that Poor People's March in the encampments. They had a specific set of plans and ideas that they wanted. They didn't just bang a drum and drop their feces on the ground. They had a specific set of plans.
Ben.
All right,
Ben, you'll see a plan.
All right, you're a rational Republican, or you used to be anyway till today.
I'm very rational. I hope I'm fairly rational.
Here's my question. The Republicans keep calling the richest Americans and the corporations job creators. Now, they've had 12 years of tax breaks. Where are the jobs?
Well,
and they want more tax
wait a second,
breaks. I don't understand.
Joy, wait a second. I hate to tell you this. I've been the Republican campaigning for higher taxes on the rich for a long time.
Well, then can you explain what they're saying?
I had a column for the New York Times for 5 or 6 years. Almost every column was about raising taxes on the rich, and all the Republicans hated me for it.
Then just be devil's advocate and tell me what they're talking about.
I don't think they think that if they lower taxes on the rich, it will create more jobs. There's no data to prove it true. There's no data to prove it true, and we do need higher taxes on very rich people. I'd say as rich as Roland.
Hey, but Ben, I'll be happy to take all the commercials you do. We know you're getting paid, but you know what, Joy? Here's the other thing that Republicans also want to deny, and that is the tax cuts that were imposed also greatly contributed to the national debt. They want to act like it didn't, but in effect, it did.
Absolutely.
So the problem is
absolutely. You're right.
Okay.
So not only were jobs not created, we now increased our debt, and now they're saying, well, let's cut the debt, but we don't want to raise taxes. Well, what are you talking about?
I think you're totally right about that. It's wrong to lower taxes on the rich without it having some good purpose. If it has no good purpose, why do it?
Okay, the right wing says that this is class warfare. They've been saying that, but Warren Buffett told you in a New York Times interview that, quote, there's class warfare, all right, but it's my class, the rich class, that's making war, and we're winning. Well, do you agree with Warren?
I agree that the class warfare was all winning for the rich people until very, very recently, and they're still winning. They're still winning. Even if President Obama's most severe tax increases were passed, the rich would be paying less tax than they did under Ronald Reagan. So the rich pay way too little tax in this country.
You know what, Roland? Why don't the American people see through this on the Republicans'
Because there is a tremendous propaganda campaign.
We're coming from the right.
Yes.
Coming from the right. This is from a conservative Republican saying that there's a propaganda campaign coming from the right.
And it's a big mistake. It's a big mistake. Dwight Eisenhower would be embarrassed.
All the comments, Joy, that you're hearing are poll tested. And so when you hear Republicans across the board say job creators, that's poll tested. When you hear Congressman Paul Ryan talk about this whole issue of class warfare, that's poll tested. What they're dealing with, they are appealing to, and we be honest, white male voters in the South, middle class, by saying, oh, they're coming after you, those Democrats. That's what they're doing. Poll tested phrases.
Okay, thanks, guys, very much.
Thank you so much.